Look, I know I talk about geopolitics, but this is what most Americans want. We want a good quality of life and freedom, just to work and to, you know, um, increase our wealth, right? Isn't that what most people want? Instead of wars in the Middle East and Ukraine and Russia, that's crazy. This is why Harris is doing so well in the polls, because she has a message of hope, and the old angry white man like Trump is gone. That's the past, and I think America is moving on. I can say this about our manufacturing of our military industrial base. They're making money hand over fist. It's ridiculous. I have a friend who added a cottage to her house because she's making so much money. She's a high-end lens manufacturer, and Lockheed Martin placed an order with a company that was outrageous. But that tells you right there that the money is just flowing because everybody's dumping Russian weapons for American. And that includes Europe, who's going to be increasing their GDP to fight against Russia in a war that doesn't even exist. Now, Russia's a third world country. They're not really a threat. But because of what invading Ukraine, and now Ukraine has invaded Russia in Kursk, and possibly they might even go over and take over a nuclear power plant there. That's crazy. I think it's the third largest one in Russia. The Chechens took off as soon as the Ukrainians crossed the border. I guess they didn't have any internet, so they couldn't make their TikTok videos, so they had to leave. And demonstrations of this that I saw. Look at this guy. Who is he fighting? He's in a lone forest with nobody around, and he's shooting his guns as if he's. Who are you shooting, buddy? There's nobody there. There's literally nobody there but him with his guns. And if you think that's funny, look at this. This Russian is acting, and they staged this as if it was hit by a mortar. That's a black powder charge. There's no mortar shot there. Absolutely ridiculous that they make these fake videos. But it shows that they're a third world country and they have no business invading another country. It's ridiculous. So I do talk about the geopolitics, but there's a point to it. It's going to have effect on our world. Russia is collapsing, and this is also keeping China from invading Taiwan because they're seeing this in horror as what's happening to Russia. And they're being made an example of. When you mess with the economic powers of the West, you will be crushed. And that includes China too. So if you want to attack freedom, go ahead, but it's going to cost you. And the cost might be much higher than you're willing to pay. And thank you, Russia, for making us rich. Unfortunately, we're elongating the war for years, and we're not going to give the Ukrainians all the weapons they need to beat you, simply because we'll crush you over time and boil you like a frog. And anyway, let's go on to the charts and enjoy. Okay, I'm just going to do a video on these three coins and give you an overall synopsis because these are actually three good coins. Normally, a lot of people like to give me dice rollers or crappy altcoins like 100 or 200, not even in the top 50. This one is in the top 50. This is SUI. This is my favorite coin. And as you can see, I've been buying it since it went under $1. Right from here, here's its real price value. That's where at some point it's going to return to and go above, which is basically around $1. So everything underneath here, I bought at 90 cents. I've been buying every 10 cents at 80, 70, 60, and now 50. At 50, I just doubled the amount. I didn't have enough of the altcoins, so I'm starting to increase my percentages as we move lower. So on SUI, which is my favorite, which is now my largest holding outside of XRP on a percentage basis. Of course, XRP is a higher end coin. It's a top 10. So that's one of the reasons why. But SUI, I believe, will be up there in the future, um, as far as it growing and whatnot. So I think this is a great, opportunity. So this is one of my favorites. And what am I looking for? Well, first, let's go over and take a look at the trend line that we have here. And as you can see, let's put it like right there. Makes the most sense. It just broke out of the downtrend. And it did it with a fair amount of ease. And again, this shows me that there was buying, so I was right to double up here at 50 cents. All I've seen is big money pushing prices down on small volume, trying to get the retail players out of the marketplace. It doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, whatever it is. And they do it, and then you get these fast down moves and then even quicker up moves because they're buying in volume here. And, it's kind of a hidden game. And I've seen this in stocks for years and years. Remember, I've done this a very long time. Over 30-something years. Crazy. So I know what I'm looking at, and I know what I'm seeing. So where do I expect like SUI to go in the future? Well, the first range would be the $3 area, $3 to $4, this box that you see right here, and then all the way up to around $8. That's what I'm looking for. Nothing has changed on this other than the price it going down to 50 cents, which is fantastic. And this is one of my favorite altcoins, outside of the higher end ones like Solana. That is another one that is a great coin, but I'm not going to really go into it. I bought more of it when it went down to right under 112 in the 111 range, and I again added there because that's one of my favorite coins. Higher end coined, but these two are not bad. And if I go to look, let's take a look at this. Arbitrum. Am I saying that's Arbitrum? Yeah, Arbitrum. If we look at this coin right here, I believe this is like ranked 38, but this one is actually volume-wise is higher. I think it's like 20. It's showing good volume dynamics. So this down move right here, and I'm going to give you what I expect prices to go in the future. Let's go to a longer time frame. Let's go to a daily. Now it's had an extreme pullback, but it's not egregious. I love the pricing dynamics on this, and if I had to go over and pick an area of where this would go, this has really good geometry. This is what I like most about it. This has fantastic geometry. This is telling me something here in the chart. And it's very tight. First, let's go over and just show the wedge pattern that you have right here. And I'm seeing this across the board. A lot of these with the volatility are building good geometry, and that's very important. That tells us in the weeks or months to come that when we do get the upside breakout, it's going to have gravitas. It's going to really move. Think of this as energy being compressed together and pushed into a tighter and tighter ball until it explodes and is released. That's what's happening. That's what happens with volume dynamics. This is a perfect example. So if you want a short-term target, this is easy to see. It would be right here on this wedge pattern. And this is what I call free money. And I'll even put that in there for you. Free money. And from anything under where it's at right now, under this let's say 60 cents range right here. Right from here, let's say, yeah, this is about 60 cents. So I think this is free money. And this is going to easily go back up to 131 from where we are. That's a 100% return. So we'll draw a line right here. Make this blue. Now, I liked that you guys picked one that made sense. Top 50. There you go. Anywhere around there. You even give me ones in the top 100. Don't give me a coin that's 2 something or 300 that has no volume, that's on a crap exchange. It is only traded on like some strange exchanges that are usually in Asia somewhere that could do rug pulls on you. You get a rug pull, that would kind of suck. But anyway, we look at the top of the wedge right here. From here, under 60 cents, it goes all the way back up to close to 130. You're looking at a 100% return just on this alone. Okay, so this is a great trade, technically. All right, now, if I look at the pattern that you have right here, and I look at the oscillation of it along with the volume dynamics of each of these moves, my mind, eyes, and repeated patterns in the past tell me a story. And I can see that this development right here is your major accumulation zone on this. And when it breaks out, it might still have lower to go. It can go to the lower bounds over here, which is great because you get the dollar cost average. But anything under 60 cents is a fantastic buy for a target of right there alone for, I would say, half, because then you get a free ride, right? If you remember my philosophy on coins, if you can get a free ride, let's write that in, free ride, which is a 100% return. What am I doing? Here, which is a 100% return. That you take the free ride. Does it make sense? All right, so let's just put that in there. This is free money, under 60 cents, all the way back up to where this wedge pattern goes. Now, let's put that aside, because that's your short-term. Oh, I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to look at what you would actually look on for this down moves. Here you have 1, 2, and then you have 3 is coming to an end point down here. Any pullbacks you get from under here are likely going to start showing positive volume. I really do like this, but here, what would I expect it to retrace to beyond the wedge target? So let's say that it retraces from here or from down here, anywhere within this range. You're looking at this going back to the 160 range very easily, 160, 170, depending on where it makes its move from. That would make a lot of sense. But, that's if you don't want to hold on to it for longer. If you want to hold on to it for longer and look for numbers that go all the way back above the 450 range up here and higher, you can look at numbers that go all the way up to 9 if you want to really hold it for a long time. But at some point, I think this one is going to get a breakout. Judging by the volume dynamics, it's popular, and it's gaining popularity. So something's going on with it. I would have to research it more, but this is a coin that you should keep an eye on, and I'm going to actually start keeping an eye on it. I might add it to my, because this is not what I paid attention to, but the volume dynamics of this are fantastic. Very good. All right, so great pick. Now, let's go to APT, which is Apatos, right? I remember this coin. This one is kind of a squirrely coin. This is not one that I've been really favored to because I don't like the volume dynamics of it. This is one I would kind of be like, but it might be a good risk. It's not going to be a favorite chart of mine because I don't like the way the volume moves here. It's very, it is declining volume. Let's put it that way. It's losing interest instead of the reverse, where the one that you saw, Arbitrium, is gaining volume. This one's actually losing volume. So, and it's not really going anywhere. It could likely get a move that goes back above 970s, maybe up to $10 and get a double, but it doesn't have a lot of, it's not really what I would call fantastic in nature of the volume. Now, it doesn't mean that there's not interest in it. There is interest in it, of course, from when it started in 2023. It's just I don't see, I see interest of just people going along. There's no real enthusiasm, whereas the other coin before it has a lot of enthusiasm into it and really should be paid attention to. This one is just so-so, is the only way I could put it. I'm sorry, I can't really say anything different. I don't see anything other than that it's a good buy if you go under 470, and for numbers that go maybe back up to a double, up to 11 and above. But other than that, it's kind of a meh is the only way I can put it. And it doesn't mean it's not a good coin or anything. I'm just not seeing anything interesting to me. And that could always change in the future, but not one that I would pay a lot of attention to. But this one, let's go back to it. This one I would pay a lot of attention to because this has fantastic volume dynamics and geometry. And it's easy to see for me. And I think you getting numbers that go back up to here are going to be super easy. Now, of course, SUI, that's my favorite. You can see what it did here. And in the future, I'm looking for really big numbers. So that's, there's not going to, this is a higher end coin. And that's why you're getting this kind of volume buildup and whatnot. And that's why I doubled up on that last down move to 50 cents and under. That was fantastic. So I hope that answers your questions on the three coins. I just decided to do it in a video because it's easier, and I wanted to have some explanation since you brought up one of my favorite coins. If not my favorite outside of Solana. XRP is just because it's the GOAT. It's old school. And when I bought it back, when it went down to 40 cents, the reason why is because of history. I had it over here as well. And so, yeah, and I'm expecting it to go back up to all the way back up to 85. So it's to me another free money trade, and probably even higher than that when it breaks out to the upside. But anyway, that's this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.